Man holds up shop with gun. Family fights as dog hides. This smoke shop in ELMWOOD Park, New Jersey was the site of an odd encounter on February 2nd, when a man threatened to hold up the store owners by pulling out a flare gun at the counter and then loading it in front of them. In this video, when a fight breaks out between the rough customer and the family, keep one eye on the frightened family dog. Seems he's too scared to jump into the fray and has faith his masters will take care of the madman. Yeah, I'll be here behind the counter in case you need backup. Just let me know. It didn't take long for the store owners to wrestle the flare gun away from the man, and police showed up seconds later to arrest him. 33-year-old Gabriel Velez, who we must say takes a hilarious mugshot, has been charged with robbery, possession of a weapon for unlawful purposes, and resisting arrest. The owners took over the store only 3 months ago and will likely have more security in place in the event something like that ever happens again. Maybe start by hiring a new guard dog, perhaps? Some robbers just aren't cut out for the job. Check out these fails.
Crazy armed robbery caught on camera in Houston. A brazen daylight supermarket robbery was caught on surveillance camera last Friday in Houston. The footage starts off with a customer at the register and a clerk and another worker behind the counter. A sudden gunshot blast to the ceiling sends everyone running as 3 masked and armed robbers run into the store. The 2 workers bolt for the closet. The first worker shuts the door, but then opens it again to let in the clerk. They then lock the door. The customer at the register is seen running away, but he slips and falls onto the floor. The gunman with a shotgun is seen in another part of the store robbing another customer of his wallet. The robbers try to open the closet door and at one point even try shooting at the handle, but are unsuccessful. Cashier Noor Kadiwala says he saw 2 bullets pass right by his face while in the closet. After failing to get into the closet, the armed suspects give up and exit the store. They were seen leaving in a green Mitsubishi SUV.
Wannabe drug thief picks the wrong store to rob. A masked man who tried to rob prescription drugs from a Florida pharmacy last week got more than he bargained for when a pro boxer just happened to be in the store. Surveillance video from the Walgreens in Bradenton on February 14th shows 26-year-old Anthony Nemeth jump onto the counter and demand all the Oxy 30s, a controlled narcotic known as oxycodone. Nemeth even pretended that he had a gun. That's when David West, a 25-year-old 2-time state boxing champ who just happened to be leaning on the counter talking to his pharmacy worker girlfriend, leaps into action. West casually walks over to Nemeth before grabbing hold of him. Nemeth's shirt is then ripped off in the ensuing struggle before West manages to deck him with several blows. He then held Nemeth down until police arrived. Nemeth, who as you can see suffered a bit during the struggle, was charged with robbery and is currently being held at Manatee County Jail on a $15,000 bond. West, meanwhile, was nonchalant about his heroics, saying that, "I was protecting the one I love." Ah, how sweet. And on Valentine's Day, too.
Shop owner pwns would-be thieves and kicks major ass. In this CCTV footage, Andrew Hepburn, a Florida auto parts shop owner, is sitting chillaxing in his office and browsing his smartphone. When all of a sudden, from nowhere, 2 gunmen enter and one begins attacking the 39-year-old. It looks like it's going to be a standard holdup, but things take a turn after a bystander interrupts, distracting the attackers. Hepburn, here, unexpectedly starts to fight back, laying into his attacker, Conrad Bloomfield, and eventually overpowered him with his size and strength. After a struggle, the roles are reversed with Bloomfield on the ground and Hepburn wielding the gun. After firing a couple of shots, Hepburn then starts pistol whipping Bloomfield into next Tuesday. He can then be seen dragging his attackers, now very sorry ass, off screen. Police say that Bloomfield suffered 5 gunshot wounds, while Hepburn was shot once. It's not clear if the injuries were sustained during this footage. Both men were taken to the hospital. Hepburn is expected to survive, although Bloomfield, who has also been charged with attempted murder, suffered life-threatening injuries. His condition is reportedly serious. Do you think Bloomfield got what he deserved?
You tried to hold up a convenience store with what? Watch, this is no joke. The intimidating figure in the black balaclava looks like he means business as he draws a gun and the holdup begins. But this crook's plan to rob a convenience store in the small town of Bendigo in Australia doesn't quite go to plan. It starts out looking good for the masked idiot. He walks in and has the place to himself. Until the night shift clerk Steve Hewitt comes back to his post looking cool as ice. The robber demands he hand over the cash. But unlucky for this guy, Hewitt is a gun enthusiast and instantly recognizes the man's weapon. It's a replica cap gun, completely harmless. He tells the masked man, it's not gonna happen. And whatever else he says, it looks like it didn't take much. Realizing that the jig is up, he's at a loss as to his next move. And so he sulks out of the store like the dipshit that he is. And Hewitt instantly becomes an internet hero.